Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Rachel Mattheos and I'm back in my kitchen and I'm starting a series today for Nourish Bowls. So you can call it a Buddha bowl, you could call it a Nourish bowl, just a bowl. But this is one of the easiest ways for someone who follows a plant-based diet to eat. It's kind of a go-to staple, but I really want to encourage you to take this on even if you're not a plant-based eater or you don't eat primarily plant-based. This is a way to add incredible nourishment to your weekly routine of eating. And it's so simple because you can change it up in any way. So I want to recommend that you go to American College of Lifestyle Medicine website and you can download this. I've got it here, I can show you, and many of you guys probably have already seen this. Oh, right when I was trying to show you, my computer goes off. There we go. All right, so this is going to be kind of the how to make a Nourish Bowl. You can download this from online. And they have free downloads from the American College of Lifestyle Medicine because they really want to encourage healthy eating and healthy living. As you know, as a coach, I follow the 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine. So this is right up my alley. And today what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a series of videos on how to make a Nourish Bowl. Just really basic, really simple. There are 6 categories. You've got leafy greens, other vegetables, protein, fiber-rich carbohydrates, your healthy fats, and then toppers like spices and things like that. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you how to do roasted vegetables and the grain that I'm gonna use. And remember, there are a million different varieties and options and ways you can put this together. It can be more of a Mexican flavor style. You can go Italian flavor. It can be Asian. You could do peanut sauce. You can do really simple and not a lot of, just kind of really basic. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do today starting with the vegetables. And again, download this this PDF. It's called the American College of Lifestyle Medicine Nutrition in Action: How to Make a Nourish Bowl. And I will see if I can link this to the video on YouTube. I'm not sure if I can. All right, so I've got myself set up here as I told you guys in my previous videos. And of course, did you guys see my best friend got me this? Do you see what she's saying here? Greens aren't boring. I don't think you're boring. I just think that greens are not boring. So I'm wearing my superhero, what is this called? Apron. Okay. Sorry, let's start with the quinoa. That's the grain I'm gonna choose for today. It's always nice to rinse your quinoa. I'm gonna go with, I think I'm gonna go with 2 cups. As I've told you guys a million times, I always cook in bulk. So I'm not gonna just cook for what I think I need tonight for dinner. I'm gonna cook in advance for the whole week. I can always freeze this grain. Quinoa, rice, bulgur, these things cook really well once they're cooked. So they freeze really well and thaw really well. So then you can just, use it later this week or even next week. So I'm just gonna go with everything I have left, which is 2.5 cups of quinoa. And I use this little colander here. I'm gonna rinse it for just a minute here. And then I'm gonna cook my quinoa in my homemade vegetable broth. You can use water. You can use a store-bought vegetable broth, but I tend to keep all my scraps throughout the week and then I boil them up in my Instant Pot and I make a homemade broth. All right. So now that is rinsed, I'm gonna just put my quinoa right into my Instant Pot bowl. I don't have music playing. That's what's missing, isn't it? I told you guys I always do music, but I don't have it going. Normally I would have it just blaring because that's how I like to cook. So for the Instant Pot, it's the ratio is 1 to 1.25. So for every 1 cup of the grain of the quinoa, I'm gonna go 1.25 cups of broth. So here's my vegetable broth. All right, there we go. I'm not gonna start this yet. In the Instant Pot, it only takes about a minute to cook, probably about 10 or 15 minutes to get up to pressure and then release pressure. But I have some roasting to do, so I'm not quite ready to start this, but I will go ahead and set it aside and get it ready to go. For the roasted vegetables I'm doing today, I'm going really simple. I'm gonna go with some frozen veggies. Whoop. I didn't realize that was open. Frozen veggies. This is from Costco. It's organic broccoli florets. They come frozen in these packs. Great, easy, ready to go. I've got Trader Joe's Brussels sprouts. Okay, those are frozen also. Toss those in there. And some of these are really large pieces. If you have time to thaw it ahead of time and then cut them up, that's great too. I'm just tossing it all in there. As you guys have seen, I cook, I don't try to overthink it because I'm not a natural in the kitchen. Cooking comes kind of difficult for me, but I've learned a lot of tricks over the years. And one of my biggest tricks is don't overthink it, just toss it together. It's gonna taste great and it doesn't have to be perfect. So I've also got this package of mixed bell peppers. This is gonna go in there. And I can't find my kitchen shears. Oh, you know what? I think they're in the dishwasher. All right, but I'm gonna toss that in there. So those are the 3 veggies I'm going with. That's it, literally. The bowl that I'm gonna make a sauce for it, and the sauce is made out of vegetables as well. So I'm just going with those 3. There's onion in the sauce, there's other bell peppers, so I'm just gonna keep it really simple. And this is the big bag of the broccoli. It's so simple and easy. I really want to encourage you to rely on frozen veggies. They're typically packaged when they're fresh and they've been harvested at the peak of their ripeness. If I don't have time, I'm running low on time, or I want to keep a variety of lots of different vegetables in the freezer. This is one of my easiest ways. I know I can pull this out of the freezer and have it roasted and ready to go in, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. So once in my bowl, I'm also going to use some vegetable broth. Now, as a plant-based eater, we don't use a lot of cooking oil. I do use some, and I'm going to go with olive oil or avocado oil every time. Those are my 2 cooking oils. But you don't need it, and you don't have to. And I know I'm gonna have a lot of healthy fat in my sauce that I'm gonna make tonight. So I'm not gonna add extra oils. I don't need the extra calories and the extra oils. And so I'm always kind of thinking through what's overall in my meal. What do I need to add more of? I don't need more healthy fats tonight, so I'm gonna go without it. I'm gonna use some vegetable broth instead. And I think I'm just gonna spice with a little seasoned salt and pepper. I'm not gonna get too crazy with the sauces and spices. I'm sorry, the spices on my vegetables. Also because I'm gonna do the sauce, and the sauce has a really nice, strong, cheesy flavor. It's called not cheese sauce. And I will post the recipe for that as well. And that's just what I call it. I actually just call it yellow sauce or orange sauce, but it's basically a substitute for a cheesy, like a macaroni and cheese type of sauce, or you can thicken it up and it can be more like a dipping sauce. You can make it thinner and make it more like a soupy sauce. I mean, there's just so many things you can do with it. All right, so I'm just gonna try to coat all these veggies with some of this broth, add some flavor. I'm gonna add just a little bit more. All right, and I'm gonna go with some, like I said, I'm gonna go with some pink Himalayan salt. I don't do a lot of salt because my husband doesn't like it, and just black pepper. I tend to season my food with more salt at the table. I was listening to a training today by the American College of Lifestyle Medicine, and they were talking about that the amount of sodium, the table salt that we get in our diet, is not typically from the table or even from what we're eating when we're cooking. The bulk, the overabundance of salt or sodium that we get in our diet is from packaged foods and eating out. So if you're trying to watch your salt, it's great to have salt substitutes on your table, or to try not to cook with it. But please keep in mind that don't eat bland, boring food at home because you're worried about your salt. If you're eating out a lot and buying packaged food, that's where the salt is. So cut that out first. And my guess is you're gonna lower your salt dramatically, and you can still season with flavor and salt at home. So that's a recommendation. Of course, we're trying to stick between 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams of salt per day or sodium per day based on just the general recommendations, but of course, check with your doctor on that. All right, so I think that this is ready to go. I know my oven is preheated. I've got it at 400 and I have it on roast. And that's just that easy. I probably should have a little bit more space for these veggies on this tray. But again, I just don't care. I want to get it in the oven and I want to make it easy for myself. So that's it. And I'm probably going to go for about, I'm going to go 10 minutes first before I check it and kind of mix it up. So what do I have going? I've got right there, quinoa. And then I've got my roasted vegetables in the oven. That's 2 of the 6 categories of the Nourish Bowl. The next video I'm gonna show you is how to roast tofu. I'm gonna put that in right next to the veggies. And then I'm also gonna make a sauce, and that's gonna be more of the veggies and part of the toppings. In addition, the greens. The greens category is basically, you start your bowl with a layer of greens. And let me read this here from this. It says 2 to 3 handfuls of raw or lightly cooked greens. And the greens are things like arugula, spinach, kale, lettuce, Swiss chard, Brussels sprouts, shaved Brussels sprouts, cabbage. So I know I happen to have a nice mixed greens fresh in the fridge, and I'm gonna chop that up in some fine pieces, and that's gonna be the bottom of our bowl when we start to build it. But when we do it fresh. So the greens are fresh, and then what we put on top is hot and freshly cooked, and so it kind of flash wilts the greens, and so they're warm, but they're not soggy and they're not boiled, but it adds a whole, look at that, 2 or 3 handfuls. So you're looking at least a cup and a half, maybe 2 cups, depending on how big of a handful. All right, so that's it for this video. Watch the other videos in this series so you can watch the rest of the bowl and then putting it all together. All right, see ya when I see ya.